on that topic have been heard. All statements should be directed to the presiding officer. No person may address or question board members individually. Each statement made by a participant shall be limited to 3 minutes duration. Please note that since this is designated in board policy as a time for the public to provide comment, the Board of Education and the superintendent will not respond to any comment during the meeting. We will, however, provide a written response to each member of the public who is recognized either by email or the U.S. Postal Service. Next, we have the Face of a Ravens Award recognition.
Thank you. If I could have the board members head up to the stage for the awards, and any of our staff or students or community members that are receiving the award, if you could head over to this corner over here. Mrs. Burwell, give a big wave where you're at. We're going to do our adults, staff members first, and then students in grade level order, and then our 2 community members at the end. Oh, yeah. All right, I think we've got everyone situated. Just in case anyone doesn't know, we honor students and staff and community members each month as showing their face of a raven. These adults and students have gone above and beyond and done great things here at Ravenna, and we just want to recognize those each month. This month, we're going to start off with our staff members. Our first face of a raven is Miss Beverly Dillon from Transportation. Beverly Dillon is a bus driver for Ravenna School District. She's cheerful and excited for her job every day. Recently, she has taken on the reins as the new Ravenna School District liaison for the Balloon Affair. And for those of you who don't know, the Balloon Affair happens in the fall as a large festival here, and she's been attending meetings, working on themes for the schools next year, has been relaying messages back and forth. I did hear that its theme this year is about flight. Sure, you can wait up here. Is about flight, and she's got some big plans for all our schools. So we're thrilled to honor her and appreciate all her work as she shows her face of a raven. Our next member is Mrs. Jackie Ralph, our parent mentor here at Ravenna School District. So as the parent mentor, her position is funded through a grant from the state and allows her to assist families with students of special needs. She attends IEP meetings, offers support to parents, is a liaison between the schools and the families, and does all of these things with grace and dignity. Her extensive background in special education has allowed her to connect with our families and staff. We're thrilled to have her represent us as a face of the raven for her hard work and dedication. And our final staff member is Mrs. Renee D'Onofrio. She's a guidance counselor at Ravenna High School. Mrs. D'Onofrio was nominated and selected as Face of a Raven for her positive attitude and dedication to students. This year she's faced a lot of challenges. We had one of our other school counselors resign mid-year, and she has had to step up to the plate. She's done it without complaining. She's done her job and then some. We've found some help for the last for a few days each week, but we know that she's put in way more effort and time scheduling and making sure that Ravenna High School runs smoothly. So we appreciate Mrs. D'Onofrio for her dedication and thank her for being a face of a raven. All right, on to our students. Mrs. Coleman's batting with 2 of them today. Our first student is Parker Hack from Ravenna Preschool. Parker is always happy and ready to learn. He greets everyone with a smile. He models how to follow the school rules, and he is helpful to both adults, and peers at the preschool. Congratulations, Parker. And our other student is a kindergartner from West Park, Fern Cunningham. Fern is an awesome student. She is always polite and respectful. She compliments others often. She comes to school with a smile on her face every day. She is so eager to learn new things. Fern is very creative and has a great imagination. She is nice to everyone and has a way to make everyone feel special. Her teachers, Mrs. Beatty and Mrs. Bennett, are very proud of her, and she's a joy to have in class. Keep up the good work, Fern. Thank you. Mrs. Coleman, you want to take them through? There you go. No. No. Come on, Fern. Do we have our Williard student here, Mr. Doherty? No. No? Okay. All right, we're going to go to West Main. If you can. All right. Our fourth grade student from West Main is Evan Chach. I am sorry. My bad. I get it all the time, too. Chach. He's a fourth grader nominated by Mrs. Chell and Miss Cross and Mrs. Brackenrich and Mrs. Studeker. We believe that Evan is a perfect example of a face of a raven by always being respectful, responsible, and in control. Evan is a hard worker who is prepared to face any challenges. He's always willing to help his teachers with classroom chores and offers guidance and assistance to his peers. The teachers look forward to Evan's cheerful morning greetings and heartfelt goodbyes as he leaves each day. Good job, Evan. All right, we've got our next student from Brown Middle School, Katie Birchfield, grade 6. Katie is a role model student at Brown Middle School. She is an all-around amazing young lady. Katie works hard in the classroom, and despite adversity in her life, she continues to be a positive light to all those around her. She is caring, outgoing, and kind to all her peers, and nothing but respectful to the staff at Brown. Katie has a smile that lights up the room and is always there to support those in need, and we love that she embodies all that a Ravenna student should be. We're proud to nominate Katie as the BMS Face of a Raven this month. Good job, Katie. All right. I do want to announce we do have 2 students who didn't attend tonight. Bradley Dickens from Williard is a second grade student. It says that we're lucky enough to look down and see Bradley on your class roster. You truly hit the teacher lottery. Charismatic, funny, smart, creative, and let's not forget super stylish. Classroom helper, kind friend, responsible role model, and so much more. So Miss Beatty from Williard decided that he was an amazing kid that needed to be honored tonight. So Bradley Dickens is our second grade student, and we also had a 10th grader, Prince Brown from Ravenna High School. Prince recently attended a school levy meeting attended by members of the community. He gave a speech, had quite an impact on Mr. Smith, who attended the meeting. Mr. Smith wrote, "A young man stood before the audience with confidence, pride, speaking from the heart about his journey at Ravenna High School. With sincerity, he acknowledged that his path hasn't always been easy. He came from a starting point where opportunities once felt distant, but at Ravenna High School, Prince found a school that believed in him. He shared how he took full advantage of the programs and opportunities available to him, from academic support to extracurricular involvement. As he spoke, his voice carried genuine excitement for what lies ahead. His message was clear: Ravenna High School is a place where growth is nurtured, potential is realized, and every student has a chance to thrive." Prince's courage to speak on his great experience at Ravenna High School and his self-advocacy for his own educational opportunities made him the perfect recipient this month for the high school Face for a Raven. So congratulations to those 2 students. Our final, and we're going to have them come up together, are Bill Wisniewski and Bill Barber, community members from Ravenna. otherwise known as the Bills, to the Levy Committee. These two gentlemen have worked tirelessly on several campaigns. Bill Wisniewski is a retired business operations manager here at Ravenna and a proud grandfather of several Ravenna students. He's been out in the community speaking with many people on the importance of school levy, and I laughed on his way in. His wife told me that he's more busy now than he was when he was working. Bill Barber is a proud parent of two adult Ravenna graduates from Ravenna. He's an active member of the community. He's on the Main Street Ravenna Board, Reed Memorial Library Board, and knows the importance of strong schools. He's given a unique community member perspective to the Levy Committee and has provided countless hours towards the campaign. So I want to recognize both gentlemen for their hard work and dedication to Ravenna schools. Thank you. Okay, we're going to take a brief recess. We'll do pictures out in the cafeteria. Once we're done with pictures, you're more than welcome to stay, but don't feel obligated. If you have something to do or want to go, you're more than welcome to do that at the end. If the students can bring their plaques up to the pictures, that would be great. Thank you.
we're ready? Okay. Next are the treasurer's update and the superintendent's update.
Alrighty, so first of all, we on Monday, April 14th, last week Monday, or was it 2 weeks ago Monday, we had a Public Board of Education special meeting where I presented our spring 5-year forecasts and assumptions. These documents are available on the Ravenna School District website under the Treasurer's Department. Those reports are available. Please keep in mind that the 5-year forecast is based upon the governor's proposed budget, and we will have amendments once we get the final budget on June 30th. Secondly, Mr. Rybland and myself on Wednesday, April 23rd, joined a meeting with the Portage County Treasurers and Superintendent with Senator Christina Rogner from District 27 on discussing budgets for school districts. Items that we talked about were the carryover amounts, the school budgets with the fair school funding versus guaranteed funding, and calculation of the 20 mil floor. Right now, in February, school districts released the governor's proposed budget. In April, the House released their version. Right now, the Senate is composing their version, and then there'll be closed sessions in May between the Senate and the House, and then on June 30th, we will have a signed governor's budget, and then after we receive the budget, we will amend our forecast to align with the governor's biennium budget. That is my update.
Okay, thank you. Okay, superintendent.
All right. Just have 3 things that I'd like to acknowledge. First of all schools reapplied for their Purple Star designation and earned those renewals for working with veterans and families of the military, so we're proud of that. All 6 buildings, not 5. Also, just wanted to acknowledge spring sports are in the middle of swing of things. We've seen some increased success at softball. They just recently won 3 league games last year, which they have not done in a long time. They're sitting at 5-5 in our league competition this year right now, which is a big improvement from where they're at. Our boys and girls track teams also placed second at the Jeep Davis Invitational at Barberton last weekend. Really strong showing, as well as the weekend before, the boys placed second at the Don Fay tournament at Crestwood. So we're having some good success here in the spring with our spring sports. Also, I just wanted to mention Friday, May 16th is our day of service, as well as our special education dance for the county. Mrs. Haynes has worked extremely hard to prepare for the dance. This year's theme is superheroes. And then Mrs. Gano at the high school, as well as the staff, have been preparing for all of our students to go out and give time back to our community on the day of service. So we're really proud of those 2 things. Thank you.
May we have the reports of the board, the Maplewood report?
Okay, well, on Thursday, we went to see the electrical program that Maplewood has. It was so impressive. Not only did the kids learn how to wire and do all of the normal things you think of that an electrician does, but also they do mechanical type things like, I guess they call it electrical machinery. And they also, when they get out of school, will be able to work on things like elevators and escalators, the big buildings where they have the big fans, that kind of electrical equipment that we never think about, but somebody has to maintain it, and these kids are learning how. And when they come out, they're going to come right out into jobs, and they're going to be able to make decent money. They did have one student who had gone to Maplewood, and he took the journeyman's test right out of there. He did not have to serve the 4 years as a journeyman. He went right into being an electrician, got his license, which was amazing. And the students that were there talked about what they were going to do in the future, and they really had big plans. One of them was going into, 2 of them were going to college, And one was going to become an electrical engineer, or hoped to become an electrical engineer. And the other one, I can't remember what he was going to do. But these kids were really excited about school, and they loved going. They could hardly wait to get up. Well, this is what they were telling us, that they could hardly wait to get up in the morning and get to school. So that was really an impressive program. And after the meeting, we went to the National Honor Society induction ceremony for the Maplewood kids, and we had 3 Ravenna kids who were honored. One of them was Serena Everhard. She's a current member, I'm sorry. And then the inductees, the senior inductee was Kennedy Miller, and the 2 juniors were Rebecca Mingo and Devin Morgan. And that was really a nice ceremony to see these kids honored that way. And they all had big plans after they graduated. We had several perfect attendance students, Caden Doppelhauer, Christian James, Edward Misa, Rebecca Mingo, Ian Owens, Ellie Turlino, Preston Vargo, and Dakota West. And you've probably heard me read their names before because they really have done well at Maplewood. And we had 8 seniors that were on the honor roll and 18 juniors that were on the honor roll. That's my Maplewood report.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Seaman. There's no Parks and Recreation report this month. Next are the reports of the treasurer.
Yes. I have a consent agenda, items 12A, 1 through 7. A1, approval of the minutes from the March 17th meeting. A2, approval of the minutes from the March 17th business meeting. A3, approval of the April 14th special meeting. A4, recognition and acceptance of gifts and donations. A5, approval of then and now payments. A6 is a creation of a new public support account. And A7 is a approval of a GPD Employees Foundation field trip grants that was awarded to the district.
Okay. So may I have a motion to approve consent agenda items 12A, 1 through 7, reports of the treasurer?
So moved. Second.
Roll call?
Mrs. Calhoun?
Yes.
Mrs. Dennison?
Yes.
Ms. Dukes?
Yes.
Mrs. Seaman?
Yes.
Mr. Wisniewski?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, then I have consent agenda 12, A, 8, 9, and 10. 8 is the approval of the amended official certificate of estimated resources. A9 is the approval of supplemental appropriations for FY25. And A10 is the approval of the certificate for 12.
Okay. May I have a motion to approve consent agenda items
So-
12A, 8 through 10?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Mrs. Calhoun?
Yes.
Mrs. Dennison?
Yes.
Ms. Dukes?
Yes.
Mrs. Seaman?
Yes.
Mr. Wisniewski?
Yes.
Motion carried. Next are the reports and recommendations of the superintendent and other administrators.
Thank you. The first resolution is a standalone. Mrs. Coleman is requesting the board approve the use of a new sliding scale to obtain financial information from parents, and this new scale will provide more evenly distributed sliding scale for parents at the preschool. It is based on early childhood education grant, and we use this with the federal poverty guidelines.
So may I have a motion to approve the resolution for preschool to use a new sliding scale for financial information, item 13A1?
So moved.
Second?
Roll call?
Mrs. Calhoun?
Yes.
Mrs. Dennison?
Yes.
Ms. Dukes?
Yes.
Mrs. Seaman?
Yes.
Mr. Wisniewski?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Resolution number 2, I am recommending the board approve a new resolution from the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce to adopt the 2025 model policies for special education, model policies and procedures to be consistent with existing state and federal laws and/or case law. This will replace the original policy adopted by resolution number 1612-1602, which was 9 years ago per ODEW, and this is recommended also from Neola.
Okay, so may I have a motion to approve resolution for item 13A2?
So moved. Second.
Roll call?
Mrs. Calhoun?
Yes.
Mrs. Dennison?
Yes.
Ms. Dukes?
Yes.
Mrs. Seaman?
Yes.
Mr. Wisniewski?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Resolution number 3 is to approve the qualifying seniors for graduation. This is an exciting one. We're requesting that the board approve the names and seniors eligible pending the successful completion of coursework and state tests for the graduation on May 27th, 2025, as listed in your agenda.
May I have a motion to approve items 13A3, qualifying seniors for graduation?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Mrs. Calhoun?
Yes.
Mrs. Dennison?
Yes.
Ms. Dukes?
Yes.
Mrs. Seaman?
Yes.
Mr. Wisniewski?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, resolution 4 is recommending the board approve the adoption of the following new math curriculum for the 25-26 school year for our K-12 student population. If I could have a motion first, and then I believe Mr. Smith has a few slides to present after the motion.
May I have a motion to approve the curriculum adoption, item 13A4?
So moved.
Second.
Before Mr. Smith starts, I just want to point out, we've had the same math curriculum for about 15 years, and as I'm sure he's going to point out, most of this curriculum adoption is going to be paid for through grant money. That would be for all of our kindergarten, middle school, and high school students, and then our elementaries will be paid for out of PI funds, which we're able to do, and not touch our operating budget that we are so working on. Thanks, Mr. Smith.
Yeah, thank you. I want to point out that our math curriculum, we've worked through looking at quite a few math curriculums. The one that we landed on, and ironically, it was K-12, which is wonderful because it carries the same philosophy all the way through, is illustrative math. And part of adopting a curriculum now is that everything has to be on all green on Ed Reports, which is research from the state of Ohio and from the federal government. This math curriculum, K-12, does do that and meets all of those criteria. One of the things that we talked about is what would a lesson look like if you were to walk in. And you can see that in the beginning, the teachers are talking in the upper left-hand corner. The teacher would talk to the students about the ideas that they were going to learn. The second part to the right there, the students have a little bit of quiet time to work on their own. That was something that our teachers really wanted to talk about, is like a good balance of working on your own and working in groups. In the lower right-hand corner, they come back to this group discussion idea, and then when they move to the left, they continue to talk as a class of things that they've learned. There's a good balance of not only teacher-led discussion, but interaction with the students, and so they're sharing ideas of how they came up to a solution. Why is this important, and why am I pointing it out? Because when we do take state tests, we're not talking about like this idea of just memorizing how to solve one specific problem, because those test questions can change at any time. But when we start learning, oh wait, we can pick up a new tool or a new idea or a new way of looking at something from one of our neighbors, then our kids can apply those skills to multiple settings. What is illustrative math? It's comprehensive, like I mentioned earlier. It's a comprehensive K-12 program. It's based on innovation problem solving, like I had mentioned. It's known for its coherence, its rigor, mathematical practices, and usability. Detailed lessons, lesson plans are for the teachers. And that also came up in a question like, well, what if a teacher is sick? We don't want to miss a day. So these lessons are very well laid out in those 4 components that I had mentioned previously. Most importantly, what will students have the opportunity to do? This was something that our teachers are extremely vocal K-12 on what they wanted. Students will, participate in compacted lessons. So if we actually have classes where, for example, a student in the 7th grade is being accelerated in a subject area, they can actually take an 8th grade class. Illustrative math already has that laid out for them. So our teachers don't have to guess what areas that they may need to fill in. Illustrative math already has that for them. Summer Connection, we talk about connecting with our parents. They already have summer packets available to the teachers for the kids. They're also known for developing their math routines. One of the things that we do know is kids develop better and perform better when their structure and those expectations are consistent. And that goes from year to year to year. These are all laid out again with the same philosophy, K to 12. They're going to engage in math lessons that are accessible for all students, including our English learners and our students with disabilities. This is extremely important in my area because when we look at our data, we want all of our students, even those children with disabilities, to have access to Tier 1 curriculum. And that Tier 1 is defined as what their general education peer gets right next to them. We still want them to have the same rigor that our non-disabled students are getting. And then they'll engage in math that is student-centered. So traditional math or traditional teaching pedagogy is talked about like really the math teacher or the teacher standing up front and delivering the information. As you look back on the slide that I presented earlier, there is a little bit of both. There is some time for our teacher to talk about, and they set the stage. And then there's some time for students to work independently, and then there is most importantly some times for kids to work in small groups, and then ultimately bring it all back together in a larger group. Benefits for our teachers. One of the things that we know as teachers, as our days change and the curriculum changes, this gave our teachers, or this curriculum will give our teachers the opportunity, if schedules have to change and they have to go from a 60-minute to a 45-minute block. Right now, we're going with the idea that they're going to be a 60-minute math lesson. But if they do have to change, it's all laid out right for the teacher. They don't have to second guess on what they need to trim away. Activities and support for professional learning. This has been probably in my 3 years as curriculum. One of the things I've noticed is in education, we tend to give it what I call a shot in the arm, one-time PD, and then we walk away from something. This will actually have ongoing PD for our teachers because once they get moving into a program, then they're going to have additional questions. And we found that already. We took our lessons learned from adopting, amplifying CKLA. Ongoing assessments for monitoring. And like I said, with our kiddos, we have found during DLT over my last 3 years, we have plenty of data on behavior, we have plenty of data on attendance, we have plenty of data on literacy. We have nearly zero data in the area of math. And I am excited, and during my job as a principal in the curriculum, that is one thing I've heard from all grade levels. We can now involve those teachers on this idea of constant improvement over time. The next one is, like I mentioned, is the ongoing professional learning for all of our teachers. So what is next for myself as well as our teachers? We're going to, Kristen and Ben and I are going to sit down, and Chris Rutherford on Thursday. We're going to begin ordering those materials and get those going. We're going to set up professional development. Prior to the start of the school, the teachers felt that might be more beneficial. And we're going to identify any necessary supports, not only just for the teachers, but the principals on how to manage that and what we can do is collectively as a district and as a building to support our teachers. And how do we help our families? Anytime that there is a new curriculum put into place, our families may struggle to understand, like, what are those expectations? What do they look like? So our goal is that we have all those things in place prior to the beginning of the school year so we can begin to communicate that out to all the necessary stakeholders. And that's it. Any questions?
I just want to thank Mr. Smith for presenting today. This is a long plan that we have ahead of ourselves that we developed this year to make sure that we're reviewing every curriculum every 7 years. There's a rotation that we're going to be working through with each subject over that course of time. So some of the larger ones are going to be standalone in a year, like language arts and math, but health and art are not as big of a curriculum for us. We'll do a couple of those in 1 year on that 7-year rotation review.
Okay. May I have a roll call?
Mrs. Calhoun?
Yes.
Mrs. Dennison?
Yes.
Ms. Dukes?
Yes.
Mrs. Seaman?
Yes.
Mr. Wisniewski?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. The last resolution under business items is number 5. This is a resolution for purchase of 300 Chromebooks, licenses, and hard shell cases from CDW government. This is going to be funded through our PI. We have a great technology plan so that each of our students are receiving one-on-one Chromebooks. Mr. Newcomb has come up with a plan. This would be purchases for 1st and 7th grade. The 1st grade would take them all the way to 7th grade, and the 7th grade through graduation. And this model will allow us to update through that entire time while we have those Chromebooks.
Okay. May I have a motion for approval for the purchase of our Chromebooks?
So moved.
Licenses?
Second.
Roll call?
Mrs. Calhoun?
Yes.
Mrs. Dennison?
Yes.
Ms. Dukes?
Yes.
Mrs. Seaman?
Yes.
Mr. Wisniewski?
Yes.
Thank you. Under personnel, A, administrative, the first one's a standalone, to approve the retire rehire for preschool director and student services coordinator, Mrs. Coleman, from August 1st, 2025 through July 31st, 2026.
May I have a motion to approve the rehire of the preschool director and student services coordinator?
So moved.
Second?
Roll call?
Mrs. Calhoun?
Yes.
Mrs. Dennison?
Yes.
Ms. Dukes?
Yes.
Mrs. Seaman?
Yes.
Mr. Wisniewski?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Resolutions 2 through 5 are going to be consent agenda. These are 3-year contracts for administrators that have expired and are up for renewal. The first is Sean Doherty, principal at West Main, August 1st, 2025 through July 31st, 2028. Jonathan Lane, principal at Ravenna High School, same time period, 2025 through 2028. Mr. Lenardi, our athletic director, same time frame, 3-year administrative contract. And finally, Mrs. Lori Tonamonia, our director of food services, from 25 through 28.
May I have a motion to approve consent agenda items 14A, 2 through 5?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Mrs. Calhoun?
Yes.
Mrs. Dennison?
Yes.
Ms. Dukes?
Yes.
Mrs. Seaman?
Yes.
Mr. Wisniewski?
Yes.
Motion carried.
B, certified. We've got a consent agenda for 1 through 6. Number 1 is the recommendation of a non-renewal of ELL tutor, Wendy Mann. This occurs every year for our temporary staff. We have to non-renew them with the intent to hire. That's through ORC, just so everyone's aware of that. Number 2 is to non-renew a long-term sub, Alexis James. Same as number 1. Number 3, to non-renew long-term substitute Robert Schwenk Jr. Number 4 is to approve an unpaid leave of absence for Melissa Kaiser for the 2025-2026 school year. Number 5 is to employ substitute teachers, hiring for 24-25 at the rate of $120 per day. Number 6 is to approve employment of continuing contracts for 3 teachers that have gone through the process, earned their masters, and been here over 5 years.
Okay, may I have a motion to approve consent agenda item 14B, 1 through 6?
So moved. Second.
Roll call?
Mrs. Calhoun?
Yes.
Mrs. Dennison?
Yes.
Ms. Dukes?
Yes.
Mrs. Seaman?
Yes.
Mr. Wisniewski?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Number C is for supplemental contracts. These are to approve the employment of athletic coaches. Mark Talley as the girls and boys track assistant coach at the high school. Monique Smith, co-head track coach for the girls at Brown Middle School. And our new head cheerleading advisor, Coach Donald Stoll at Ravenna High School. All of these have completed all of their licensure as well as fingerprinting.
May I have a motion to approve item 14C, 1?
Oh, so moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Mrs. Calhoun?
Yes.
Mrs. Dennison?
Yes.
Ms. Dukes?
Yes.
Mrs. Seaman?
Yes.
Mr. Wisniewski?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. D is for classified. It's a consent agenda for numbers 1 through 10. Number 1 is to accept the resignation of custodian Zach Wood at Ravenna High School. Number 2 is to accept the resignation of custodian Brandon McNeely, who's the head custodian at Tappan. 3 is to approve employment of a custodian, Katie Hansen. She'll be splitting the evening shift at Tappan, the preschool, and the Board of Education. Number 4 is to approve a change in custodial. Kim Lloyd is bidding from day shift at West Main to Brown Middle School with the retirement of Mr. Gary Smith. Number 5 is to accept the resignation of an educational aide, Tajane Smith. Number 6 is to approve the employment of an educational aide, Juliana Griffith at West Main. Number 7 is to approve childcare unpaid leave of absence for Jennifer White. It's for May 7th through May 13th of this year. Number 8 is to approve an unpaid leave of absence for Judy Hale, an educational aide at Ravenna High School from May 2nd through the end of the year. Number 9 is to accept the retirement resignation of our cafeteria manager at Ravenna High School, Carol Jones, effective August 1st. And finally, number 10 is to approve the employment of substitute employees Angela Burkhart and Donald Gillespie as listed.
May I have a motion to approve consent agenda item 14D, 1 through 10?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Mrs. Calhoun?
Yes.
Mrs. Dennison?
Yes.
Ms. Dukes?
Yes.
Mrs. Seaman?
Yes.
Mr. Wisniewski?
Yes.
Motion carried.
We do not have anyone for recognition of public signed up.
Informational items. NAACP brunch on Saturday, May 3rd at 11 o'clock at the Ravenna High School. Ravenna High School Scholarship Award Night is being held on Thursday, May 15th at 6 o'clock. Next Board of Education meeting is Thursday, May 22nd at 6 p.m. And that is also the Senior Pizza Parade, which will be at 5 p.m. Graduation is Tuesday, May 27th at 7 p.m. at the Portage Community Bank Stadium. Our rain date is Wednesday, May 28th. End of the fourth 9 weeks and the last day of school is Thursday, May 29th. Records Day, last day of school for teachers, Friday, May 30th. We have need for an executive session?
I do.
Okay, the board has need for an executive session. May I have a motion to enter into executive session?
So moved.
Second?
Roll call?
Mrs. Calhoun?
Yes.
Mrs. Dennison?
Yes.
Ms. Dukes? Mrs. Seaman? Mr.
Yes.
Wisniewski?
Yes.
Motion carried. An executive session or private session of the board is controlled by the Sunshine Law and may only be used for special purposes outlined in the law. No action can be taken by the board during executive session. In accordance with Ohio Revised Code 121.22, the Ravenna Board of Education will go into executive session for the sole purpose of the consideration of any of the following matters. The item for us is employment, item 2?
2 and 4.
And 4, okay, and item 4. Thank you. Now back on record, we have returned to our open meeting. May I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Second.
Roll call.
Mrs. Calhoun?
Yes.
Mrs. Dennison?
Yes.
Mrs. Dukes? Mrs. Seaman?
Yes.
Mr. Wazuski?
Yes.
Motion carried. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.